Okay, here's a real one. Um, when you deal with people that are struggling with pain, with depression, with anxiety, with symptoms that are pervasive but not visible, it is extremely isolating. I had a gentleman here just a moment ago. He's dealing with urinary type symptoms. He went to the urologist. Everything's fine. But he does not feel safe to go into social situations that are prolonged because he doesn't know if he's going to have to like run to the bathroom or constantly interrupt the people that he's around. And it becomes very socially isolating. It becomes very stress-inducing, anxiety-provoking, all things which really enhance the symptoms, decrease quality of life, and create a lot of fear and anxiety. So it's really important when you work with people that are suffering or struggling with things like this, especially for prolonged periods of time. Oftentimes they're not acknowledged, they're not validated. They're told there's nothing wrong with them, because most of these people, when they have these kind of lifelong or prolonged or lived with experiences, from a physiological structural perspective, the images show nothing, the blood works clean, they don't know what to say. And that alone, right, that as well, that diagnostic uncertainty also contributes to this feeling of not being understood, not being validated, being isolated. So next time a client comes in and they're struggling with something that is not visible on the surface, especially if they look like a healthy person. This guy looked super fit and strong. He is super fit and super strong, but he struggles. And so his community looks at him and says, what do you mean? Like, you can't be that bad. Right? So we need to hear them. We need to validate them. He couldn't believe that I wanted to sit down and actually listen to what he had to say to me. Like, I wanted to hear, like, what have you done? Where's it coming from? What's the deal? Where do you want to go? And no one had ever done that with him because they don't have the time to, because they didn't know it's important enough to. And as body workers especially, like one of the most biggest gifts we have for our people is time. Taking the time to listen, taking the time to validate, taking the time to acknowledge their experience, and then doing what we can do to help them kind of move forward. So you're going to see this all the time if you haven't already. Pay closer attention. People feel isolated, unheard, unseen, and that's a huge contributor to living and suffering with symptoms. So something to think about. Something to think about.